So Don, are we going to see Riley O'Brien coming to the side tomorrow night?
Yeah, you will. Yeah, Riley's going to come in and take Sam's place, which is great for Riley. I mean, he's had a fantastic pre-season, and it was neck and neck with Sam for a while, and Sam obviously got the gig early, but you know, he's had 4 years on the list. He's built his craft, and he's looking forward to getting out there and playing and leading the ruck.
Any concern that Riley's only really played one full game of football in 12 months? I think last week's Samford game was his first game. Obviously had half a game in trial, a quarter I think in Canberra in the JLT series. Is there a chance it could be?
No, not really. No, I mean, he ideally, obviously had that shoulder injury last year, which meant that he missed the last part of last season. But he's done it absolutely from day one. He's done full pre-season, so no, he's fine. He's ready to go.
At what stage did you think Sauce was no chance?
Probably not until yesterday afternoon, to be honest. He came out and did some running yesterday morning. He was okay straight line. As soon as he changed direction, he could still feel it, and it was quite clear then to the medicos that it was a matter of, well, if he can't do it on Tuesday, how's that look for a Thursday night game? And 6-day break just made it a bit hard for him. So by yesterday afternoon, we sort of got around the table and spoke to the docs, and the decision was made.
And then timeline again. There was a bit of a management issue with the knee. It was something that had flared up a bit before, is there?
I think it's something he's had a historical. It's been there, but it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you scanned all our players, you'd find something, whether it be an ankle, a knee, or a hip, or something. So something he's just sort of had, which has flared up. So yeah, we're just really hopeful we'll settle down quickly. We've obviously got, he's going to miss this week's game, and then we've got a 9-day break into the next game. So we'll see. But there's no guarantees with those things. You've got to just let time and heal it and build him up next week and see how he goes.
What are the differences that having Riley O'Brien brings? Things that you change, or things that Riley can do Sauce can't, or vice versa?
Well, look, they're similar but different players. Obviously they're both tall because they're ruckmen, which is good. But Riley himself has got he's got really high in fitness as well, which is one of his great strengths. And for a guy that's coming and playing his third game, our expectation on him is not to do anything other than just play the way we know he's capable of. As I said, he's been waiting a long time for an opportunity, so he's jumping out of his skin.
Don, why, maybe from an outside point of view, decent stage, if you look at Riley's played 2 games in 4 years, I guess the question would be, why has he played such little football? Is he just a late bloomer, or has it just been a result of Sauce's durability? Well,
I think it's a better result of Sauce has been so durable and so good for so long. And I know talking to him at the start of the year, he was almost, what do I have to do to get in the team? And it was either get in front of Sauce, or in this situation, if Sauce goes down for a period, you're ready to go. But the pleasing part with Riley has been more about him not just and he's improved year on year. And last year, unfortunately, with injury, it was harder for him in the second half of the year because he didn't play. But he's got stronger, he's got fitter, he's just built his game. And often ruckmen take that time. There's very few 18-year-old ruckmen running around, in the comp dominating, just because it's a unique position which requires strength, maturity. He's learned his craft over the period, so. His opportunity now comes. So I'm super excited for him and looking forward to what he can produce.
A much better effort, obviously, last week.
Yep.
That forced change aside, are you sticking with the same boys after a break one?
Yeah, well, it'll be. Obviously, we announced the team tonight, so I don't want to give away too much. But obviously, the guys were really solid last week, and as I said after the game, it was a really even team contribution, which is when we play our best footy. Is when we get everyone sort of pulling on the rope, which is what we got last week.
Just want to get a comment on Erin Phillips, obviously second league best player in 3 years. Just your thoughts on her achievement?
Oh, fantastic! I mean, she's been for our footy club, been massive in that space in terms of not only performances, but how her and Chelsea as the co-captains have really led that team. And it was fantastic for the team last week. I mean, out here the crowd was incredible. It was great for our footy club to see our fans and members come out. I mean, you wouldn't have thought 5 years ago, if you'd said there's going to be 50,000 people watching a women's game of footy at Adelaide Oval, you'd have been locked up. But all credit to them, and the girls embraced it. They played wonderfully well. Doc did a great job, and it was outstanding. And it was sad, obviously, with the 2 girls with the knees, but that's unfortunately the risk we take playing footy.
Do you think she'll come back, Don?
Well, don't know. That's really with her. She's really got to make that decision about the rehab back into playing. I know she loves playing footy. That's always a strong driver.
If she didn't, and she wanted to transition into coaching, is it something that you'd entertain? I mean, she obviously has a bit of value and a bit of knowledge. Yeah,
well, she's shown some interest in the coaching side of things. So look, I think we'll just let her enjoy the spoils of victory, both in the grand final and also obviously the MVP last night. And if she wants to look down the coaching path in the future, we can have a chat.
Don, another story that sort of broke in the last 12 hours or so is that Sam Shaw, I'm sure you've seen, has decided to sue the Crows. Have you got Any thoughts on it? Or
Yeah, it's really difficult for me to comment, and probably, given it's a medical and legal nature now, it's probably inappropriate for me to say too much, Tom. Yeah.
What about generally Liam Picken retired during the week because of concussion? Is that one of the big issues, do you think, surrounding our game now?
I think it's one of the major issues that we're trying to address, and some of the rule changes are built around, obviously care for players is paramount, and the last thing we want to see is young men retire from the game, but also retire with the game with potential long-term health issues in any space, whether it be concussion or physical as well. So the medical care that we're providing to our players is first class, but we play an injurious game. We just can't avoid that. So I know with those guys retiring, it's not ideal, but unfortunately, there's not many guys who play 200 games who walk away scot-free. Unfortunately.
Have you spoken to Sam at all?
No.
Is that the flip side of these rule changes? We all complain when we see Scott Lycett sort of touch someone in the back and gives away a free kick. Is that the flip side that you see as a benefit of perhaps the rule changes?
Well, I think the intent of clearly the AFL has a mandate to remove striking, hitting, unnecessary acts off the ball. And I think all we do as an industry is we accept that and we adapt to it. That's I don't think there's no point trying to fight about that. It's just they're the new rules and play within them.
On that, how do you guys have in the past, sort of put pressure on Patrick Dangerfield, put pressure on Joel Selwood physically. Do you still do that tomorrow night, or do you sort of go back a little bit under the new rules? Well,
I think you play under the new rules, and the new rules will allow you to do only so much in terms of that space. So you just got to be smart about it, but you still want to play with presence. I don't think any team runs out on a weekend not wanting to play with presence and put pressure on the opposition, be it physical or be it mental pressure, and that's once you want that in your side's DNA.
We've seen Rolly Knight go to Joel Selwood in the past.
Yep.
Does he maybe go to Patrick Dangerfield tomorrow, given Dangerfield's strong start?
Have to wait and see, Lee.
Don, if you flag another change, like I said, you don't reveal the team, are you flagging another change there at all?
I'm not flagging anything. Theo, you No.
I'm reveal the entire team, so there must be more than just Riley.
No. Our guys have pulled up really well. They're looking forward to getting out there. As I said, I'm not going to necessarily disclose, selection right now. But I was really happy with the performance last week. We got a good even contribution. Guys played their role really well, impact the game at certain times, and that's what you want.
Can I ask just one more about Darren? Sorry, Rennie. The best and fairest medal, should it be renamed the Phillips Medal? Would you endorse something like, a Phillips stand around the ground, statue? Or should we rename the city?
I think I'll leave that for the people further up the pay scale than me to decide those things. But look, she's been a significant player in if you like, the emergence of women's football. So I'm sure that the people at the levels are talking about what's the right way to maybe honour someone who's done what she's done.
What about Geelong generic? Oh, sorry, Steve.
You're right. I was probably going to ask the same thing about Geelong.
Yeah.
Strong wings. What have you noted about how they're playing and what they?
Yeah, they're playing some really good footy. I mean, obviously they've beaten the grand final team from last year, and as well as the top 4 team in Melbourne last week. So they're playing really well. They've added some real different look to their forward line. Clearly they've done a bit of a revamp of their forward line, bringing in Rowan and Dalhouse and the 2 young guys in Mears and Atkins. So they've structured things up a bit different forward, and Radigaloo is back in full fitness from last year. So and we know the quality of their midfield. So they've got strengths all over the place, and the way they're defending as well. They were able to defend 70 on inside 50s from Melbourne last week. So they're in good form. So they're a good team. We just prepare and get ready to bring what we need to bring tomorrow night. Well, basically, the midfield always becomes important. I mean, we can talk about a whole range of things, but the reality is midfields are really influential in games of footy, and we need to win our share and get enough pressure on Geelong to not allow them to either get the ball forward or impact the game.
They've got a lot of young boys, well, a few young boys that have come into the midfield this year. You've got a lot of senior players in the midfield play a lot of footy. It's not the right word, but can you have the senior boys bully them a little bit and really get on top early from a standpoint?
I think it comes down to that's all. There's a bit of smoke and mirrors in that. I think it all comes down to just your attack on the ball. I mean, I don't know who the young guys you're really talking about. They've sort of Constable's a new player, but he's the rising star. Clark's playing down back for them. But we've got young players as well. We've got Jones coming, we've got O'Brien coming. So I think it's more about the game will be won through effort, not through talking.
Don, you talk about the midfield. Obviously, this 666 rule to start off.
Yep.
Do you have to adjust what you do in the midfield because O'Brien's in ruck now, or is it essentially just keep the same players?
No, we've got systems in place which are we want to think are not purely based on individuals playing. Clearly Sam's a different ruckman to Riley, so there's some adjustment for us to make around that. But systematically, we want to play a similar style. It's too hard. Otherwise, what happens in game is that you can't go from, you can't flip and flop all over the place. So our structures will be similar with Riley on board.
Is it hard getting that, you touched on, Riley and Dalhouse giving them a different look up forward. Is it hard getting that defensive balance right when you've got the three talls at the moment with Talia, Hardigan and Keith?
Well, it can be. It's also depends. You've got to also provide what the game may throw up. Obviously, we know that Dangerfield will spend time down forward. We know Ablett will go a bit deeper at times. So they've got some flexibility with some of their mid types that can go and play forward, and they're pretty dangerous forward. So we've just got to be mindful. We've got enough defenders, to defend them, be they tall or small.
Are you happy for this game to turn into a bit of a blowout, so to speak, as in a really high-scoring game? Because they like to play that way.
Well, yes and no. They've shown over the years, though, they're pretty strong defensively as well. And certainly the first couple of games, I think the first game against Collingwood was pretty low scoring, and obviously they kept Melbourne down last week. So, I don't know. I'd never go into a game thinking it's going to be a shootout or it's going to be an arm wrestle. We prepare for both, and we get ourselves just ready to play. Ultimately, we want to focus on what we think we need to do to beat Geelong on tomorrow night.
What's the way around that defence? They've been very strong. In recent years, I think they've led the way in the last couple of years. Yeah, they've been. They've done a similar sort of system for a few years. So for us, we've obviously spoken about that and what we need to be able to do to counteract that. And I won't go into the detail here, but clearly we've got some plans.